Thank you so much for tuning in. And whether you're watching this at Lifegroup or you're watching it at a separate time, just thank you for taking the time to really watch these videos and track along with us in what is new and unprecedented, really, in the way we've done church and Lifegroup for the past 15 months easily. We are in the middle of a series about prayer, and I really enjoy prayer. I enjoy prayer because I realize that a lot of my life has come to pass because of prayers that were said for me, prayers that I said for myself, and just I wouldn't be where I am without the grace of God, but also without the prayers of the people. Tonight specifically, we want to delve into what does it mean to pray for the city. You know, most of us who are probably watching this are living in Cape Town, and Cape Town is known to be such a beautiful city. But as much as it is a beautiful city, there's so much more about Cape Town that is troubling, that is not so beautiful. Cape Town is also known for its gangs, for its high crime, high murder rates, the robberies, gender-based violence. There are many things that happen in Cape Town that, if you're not engaged in prayer, almost feel helpless. You almost feel helpless. Well, at least I do. I find that I feel very helpless in times, and I don't know how I'm going to change or impact the community. And some people say, it's one person at a time, but yes, it is that, but I am also a firm believer that it is prayer. I think when the people of God gather together and say a prayer and agree together in prayer and fight the battles that we see in the natural, but fight them at a spiritual level and engage in prayer, I think that's when we win. I think that's when we overcome. And that's when we see our city healed. We see the blood loss in the city just, compensated for. Where I actually want to read from today is Jeremiah chapter 29, and it's verse 7. And Jeremiah 29 is funny because most people only remember the verse 11 that says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you. But really before that, this is a letter to the exiles. And in verse 7, the Lord begins off by just speaking to the exiles and says, this is what you must do, all the captives that are in Babylon who come from Jerusalem. And I'm just going to read from verse 5, but where I want to dwell really is in verse 7. It says, starting from verse 5, build homes and plan to stay, plant gardens and eat the food they produce. And he's talking about being in Babylon. Is when you're in Babylon, build homes there, make a plan to stay there, build homes and eat the food they produce. It says marry and have children. Then find spouses for them so that you may have many grandchildren. Multiply, do not dwindle away. This is God saying this about people who are in exile in another country. Just remember that. And then he says, and work for the peace and prosperity of the city where I sent you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, for its welfare will determine your welfare. That also says the prosperity of the city will be if the city prospers, so will you prosper. And I want to speak about this, and this is close to my heart because I'm originally not from Cape Town or South Africa. I'm actually from let's go with the fact that I was born in Zimbabwe, and I am here, and it almost feels like a city that's not home. But I remember reading this word initially when I first came, and I was like, God, do I stay, do I go? But I am a firm believer that God sends us to some places. He sends us to cities, he sends us to places. And when we are there, our business is not to say, oh no, I'm here for a short while, so I'm only going to make it work for a short while. God is actually saying, no, go there, prosper there, marry there, eat their food, stay, build a home. But more than that, he says, pray for it. And so in this coming week, or even just now when you're about to break down into groups, I think the one thing that I'd love you guys to do is pray for Cape Town. The north, the south, the east, and the west. Pray for the city. Pray that healing would come from the city. Pray that fathers would really step into their roles in the city. Pray for the gang-ridden areas, that really the peace of God, a move of God would come through there. But also pray for those who know Christ, who are in those areas. People who are putting their lives on the line. Pray that they may be emboldened, by the Spirit of God to continue to preach the gospel, to continue to risk their lives and risk the welfare and just risk and move out of their comfort zone to preach the gospel in areas that are just not as friendly as you and I stay in, or even as you and I have preached the gospel. So I think we can pray for those who are hurting. We can pray for those who are sick, and just for the ailments that plague the city, but also for those who are like shining lights. It says like God makes us a city on a hill whose light cannot be dimmed. So let's be in of ourselves, be these lights for the city that will not be dimmed or put out. And so I encourage you in your prayer time. I think you're praying for families, you're praying for yourself, you're praying for the church, but also pray for the city. Because as this city prospers, so will you prosper. Okay? You can break up into groups. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. We love you. We're also praying for you. And hope you have a great week ahead. Can't wait to see you in person soon, hopefully. Cheers.